So the third circuit element is capacitor. Here we consider a purely capacitive circuit. Capacitor is basically a passive electrical element where two conducting plates are separated by a dielectric medium. Now when the potential difference is applied across a capacitor, then the charges are accumulated on the plates of the capacitor. In case of DC, if we apply the DC potential difference across the capacitor, then the charges will be accumulated, and once the charges are saturated, then the flow of electrons or the flow of charges will be stopped. But in case of AC, the potential difference across the capacitor is gradually changes. Initially it increases, then it decreases. Therefore, the plates of the capacitor will be charged and discharged. Therefore, a current will flow through the circuit. Now here in this purely capacitive circuit, we apply a voltage V, where V is equal to V max sin omega t. So a sinusoidal voltage is applied across the capacitor. So the charges will start to flow from source to the capacitor. The amount of charge is considered as Q. It is represented as C into V, where Q is the instantaneous charges that accumulates in the capacitor plate, C is the capacitance of the capacitor, and V is the voltage applied across the capacitor, where the V is V max sin omega t, so we can write it as C into V max sin omega t. Here the instantaneous charge that will store in the capacitor depends upon time, and we know that the voltage is a sinusoidal waveform, so sometimes the charges will be in the positive side, sometimes the charges will be in the negative side. Therefore, there will be a continuous change in charge with respect to the time. Therefore, a current will flow through this capacitive circuit, and this current can be written as dq upon dt. As we know that the current can also be defined as it is the rate of change of charges. So here d upon dt of C V max sin omega t. So we put the value of Q here. Now if we simplify this, so the value of I will be C V max d upon dt of sin omega t and now it will be C V max omega into cos omega t. This value can be written as V max upon 1 upon omega c, and the cos omega t can be converted to a sine value, so it will be sine omega t plus 90 degree. As the sine before the cosine term is positive, so here it is sine omega t plus 90 degree. Now 1 upon omega c is represented as xc, that is the capacitive reactance, so it can be written as V max upon xc sine omega t plus 90 degree. So this is the expression of the current, instantaneous current that is flowing through a capacitive circuit. So for a purely capacitive circuit, the current is V max upon xc sine omega t plus 90 degree, where xc is equal to 1 upon omega c, and as we know omega equal to 2 pi f, So Xc can be also written as 1 upon 2 pi Fc. This is called capacitive reactance. It is the capacitive reactance. Now here, if the frequency is represented in Hertz, C is in Farad, then the value of Xc will be in ohms. Similarly, the omega is in radian per second and C will be in farad. So during numerical questions, what are the values are available, we can calculate the Xc, that is the capacitive reactance. If the frequency is given, then we'll use 1 upon 2 pi Fc, and if the angular velocity, that is omega, is given, we will use 1 upon omega c. As we see that the unit of the Xc is also ohms, this is the unit of resistance also. That means the capacitive reactance also used as to oppose the flow of current. Basically, when the potential difference is applied across the capacitor, as the charges are accumulated on the plates of the capacitor, then these charges will oppose further flow of charges towards the capacitor plate. That's why in one term it is basically oppose the flow of current, that is the unit of the capacitive reactance is mentioned in ohms. Now here the current I is equal to Vmax upon Xc sin omega t plus 90 degree. Here we can see that the current depends upon time, and if the time is 0, then it will be sin 90 degree. Therefore the value of the current will be maximum, and the maximum current can be represented as Vmax upon Xc. From here we can write Xc is equal to Vmax upon Imax if we divide the numerator and denominator by root 2, then the Xc can also be written as Vrms upon Irms. As we have seen in previous classes that for a purely resistive circuit, V upon I is called the resistance. For a purely inductive circuit, V upon I is the inductive reactance, and here for a purely capacitive circuit, V upon I is the capacitive reactance. Now in this current expressions, instead of Vmax upon Xc, we can put the value as Imax. Therefore the current in the capacitive circuit can be written as I equal to Imax sin omega t plus 90 degree. So this is the expression of the current that is flowing through a purely capacitive circuit. Here we have applied the voltage, that is V equal to Vmax sin omega t. Then the corresponding current will be Imax sin omega t plus 90 degree. So let's draw the phasor diagram of the voltage and current. So if we draw the phasor diagram of voltage and current, then V equal to Vmax sin omega t. So it will be drawn in the reference line. So here the V will be along the reference line, here it will be V. And the current is Imax sin omega t plus 90 degree. That means the phase of the current is 90 degree. Therefore the current will be leading the voltage by 90 degree. Therefore, we can write for a capacitive circuit, the current lead the voltage by 90 degree. As we have seen in purely inductive circuit, there the current was lagging the voltage by 90 degree. For a purely resistive circuit, current and voltage are in phase. So if we recall the concept, for a inductive circuit, here the current lag the voltage by 90 degree, and similarly for a purely resistive circuit, the current and voltage are in phase. So this is the behavior of three different elements with the alternating voltage. Now the waveforms of the voltage and currents. Here for a purely capacitive circuit, the voltage applied is Vmax sin omega t, and corresponding current flowing in the circuit is Imax sin omega t plus 90 degree. So in the waveform, the V will be starting from omega t equal to 0. At 90 degree, the voltage will be maximum. At pi, the voltage is 0. At 3 pi by 2, it will be minus Vmax. And at 2 pi, the voltage will be again 0. Now when we consider the current, so this is the waveform of the voltage. And for the current waveforms, when the omega t equal to 0, it will be sin 90 degree. Therefore, the value of the current will be maximum. So here at omega t equal to 0, we will get the maximum current. Then as the omega t value is gradually increasing, the value of the current will be gradually decreasing. At 90 degree, it will be sin 90 plus 90, that is sin 180 degree. So the current will become 0. After 90 degree, as the omega t is further increased, now the current will become negative. At pi, it will be sin 180 plus 90, that is sin 270 degree. The value will be minimum, so it will be negative Imax. At 3 pi by 2, that is 270 degree, so it will be sin 270 degree plus 90 degree, that is sin 360 degree. So the current will be here 0. So from the waveforms, we can see that here the current is leading the voltage by 90 degree. When the voltage is 0, at that time the current is maximum. So the current is leading the voltage by 90 degree. So this is the expression of the current. Now if we consider the power, as we know that the instantaneous power is written as V into I. It is called the instantaneous power. So V can be written as Vmax sin omega t, and I is Imax sin omega t plus 90 degree. Here it can be converted to cos omega t. So this is Vmax sin omega t into Imax cos omega t. So in the next step, it will be Vmax into Imax into sin omega t into cos omega t. Now divide the term by 2 and multiply by 2. So it can be written as Vmax upon root 2 into Imax upon root 2, and 2 sin omega t cos omega t can be written as sin 2 omega t. So finally the instantaneous power can be written as Vrms Irms sin 2 omega t. That is the expression of the instantaneous power. As we can see that the power is totally depends upon the sine term, and over a complete cycle the sine term will become 0. Therefore the average power, that is capital P, will be equal to 0. So just like inductive circuit, for a purely capacitive circuit also the average power will be 0 here. We can see this concept in waveform also. Here we divide the waveform in 4 different parts. So from 0 to pi by 2, both voltage and currents are positive. Therefore their product will also be positive. From pi by 2 to pi, the voltage is positive but the current is negative. So their product, the power will be negative. From pi to 3 pi by 2, voltage and currents are negative. So the product will be positive. And from 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, the current is positive but the voltage is negative. So again the power will be negative. So from 0 to 2 pi we will get 2 complete cycles of the power. Here this is the positive power, this is the negative power, then the positive power, and again the negative power. So over a complete cycle the power will be equal to 0. So that's why for a purely capacitive circuit the power is also considered as 0. So if we summarize the concept for a purely capacitive circuit, the voltage applied is Vmax sin omega t. So the corresponding current will be Imax sin omega t plus 90 degree, where the relations between voltage and current is expressed as capacitive reactance Xc. It is Vmax upon Imax or Vrms upon Irms. The capacitive reactance can also be written as 1 upon omega c or 1 upon 2 pi Fc. The voltage is considered as the reference. So for a capacitive circuit, the current will lead the voltage by 90 degree. And the average power over a complete cycle is equal to 0. So these are the concept for a purely capacitive circuit. Let's see the example. The question is, a capacitor of 100 microfarad is connected across a 200 volt 50 Hz supply. Calculate the reactance of the capacitor, RMS value of the current, and the maximum current. So let's see the solution. Here the capacitor value is given as 100 microfarad. So first convert it to farad. So it will be 100 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad, or we can write 10 to the power minus 4 farad. The supply voltage is given as 200 volt. It is the RMS value. And the frequency is given as 50 Hz. As we know that the capacitive reactance Xc is 1 upon 2 pi Fc. So put the values here. So it will be 1 upon 2 pi into 50 into 10 to the power minus 4. So after solving, we'll get the value of capacitive reactance as 31.83 ohms. For a capacitive circuit, the current is represented as V upon Xc. Here the V is 200 and Xc we have calculated 31.83 ohms. Therefore, the value of the current will be 6.283 ampere. So this is the RMS value of the current. The maximum current can be written as √2 into the RMS value of the current. That is √2 into 6.283. So finally, the maximum current will be 8.886 ampere. So this is the answer. Here, first of all, we find the value of capacitive reactance by using the formula 1 upon 2 pi Fc. Remember here the value of C should be in farad. We have already converted the 100 microfarad to the farad, so it is 10 to the power minus 4. Put the values here, so you'll get the value of Xc. As we have seen, the current in the capacitive circuit is V upon Xc. So it will be 6.283 amps. We know that for a sinusoidal current, the maximum current will be √2 times of the RMS value. So if we put the RMS value multiplied by √2, so we'll get the value of the maximum current. Thank you.